Not speaking. Hey guys, listen to me. The very, very smallest thing. I'm not talking about something that y'all both had a disagreement on. I'm saying something as small as one knife being in the sink.
Something wrong.
And it ain't even, it's not that deep. It's not about the knife. It's not about the knife. And she may not have found the words to say, I am hurting because of this. That is, hey, for real, what's wrong? That is the time to say, it's not about the, let me hold you.
Yeah.
Even if she doing like the baby that don't want to be touched.
Like
and
don't
arching
touch
her
me.
back.
Don't
No, for real. Something is wrong and it is not about the knife.
Boo.
Boo! Boo!
Welcome back to the couch. What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling?
Great.
Hi. Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome back to
Wonderful.
the couch. Today's going to be a great episode. First, before we start, we want to thank each and every last one of you for subscribing, for watching us, for being loyal watchers of the show. Even now, because y'all be in the comments, but y'all really don't be in the comments. And we see that y'all are watching. Comment. Y'all talk, babe.
Because we want to talk too.
Because we be talking and y'all, and all y'all got to do is just drop us a few green hearts. Right now. Okay, so right now, drop a few green hearts. I'm awake.
Hey.
Loyal.
And if you don't see where they are,
Smart.
it's a little smiley face.
I'll just drop hearts myself. How about that?
You
can
drop yourself.
Yep, with myself. So before we start the episode with our subject today, we want to thank our producer, and we want to thank the person who makes all this beautifulness happen. Because he's always behind the scenes. CJ, we love you.
He's so patient with us.
We love you.
We just be talking. He be like,
and I know
ready?
We love
So
you, CJ.
patient. So patient.
We appreciate you.
Yes, yeah, we do. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna pull a card. Nadia's gonna go first. We're only gonna pick one today. And y'all, if y'all like the cards,
Thank you, Youre.
they're my Amazon store. Go over and get them. Skin deep. Okay? And they're great cards for your relationship, for you and your spouse, you and your boyfriend, you and your girlfriend, you and your whoever you have. They have all types of cards. Go look at them. They're in my Amazon store. The link is in the description. Okay.
Please.
Go ahead.
The
Nadia.
cord said,
Read it. Now read it.
how do you feel safe? That's what it said.
Oh.
Oh, how?
Sorry.
Okay.
How do I feel safe? On the couch. I feel safe on that couch. I feel safe.
Hey.
On that couch.
Yeah.
I feel safe on that couch.
I feel safe.
No, but for real. How do I feel safe? That's a good question. I feel safe in my home. How do I feel safe? I guess when I'm surrounded by my family, close friends, people I can trust, people I know got my back, I feel safe. In my bathroom, in my closet. Yeah, I think when I'm surrounded by love and people that I know genuinely love me and care for me, that's how I feel safe.
Same. Like, I feel safe when I know on each, I guess, angle I'm safe. So physically, spiritually, mentally, it's like you're floating on water. And I feel it when I am, when I'm with y'all. When I'm with y'all. Y'all make me feel safe in the streets, man. Appreciate y'all whole, man.
Oh. There was so much love in that tap.
I mean,
how? Because I feel like I'm going to say where, and I need to say how. I feel safe when I place myself in my element. So even I can be in a building with multiple rooms, and depending on who's in each room, I'll feel myself like being safer. So if it was a room like y'all, I would definitely feel like, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. But if it was a room full of strangers, I think I would have to kind of go within to make sure that I put my protective veil up.
Your armor of God.
Yeah, lock down the fortress a little bit. But yeah, so whenever I place myself in what I feel like is my element, regardless of my environment. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah,
It does.
It makes perfect sense. How do I feel safe? How do I feel safe? It depends on where I am and what I'm doing. But normally my safety net goes up in the morning when I wake up. I spiritually prepare myself. And even if I'm amongst strangers, almost like Jasmine said, I can kind of put up my protective armor. And I got angels surrounding me like every moment of the day. And I got I got real angels, and they work overtime for me. And sometimes I have to apologize because I make them work so hard sometimes to protect me. But they be protecting me. They be protecting us all the time. So I stay safe. How do I stay safe? I tap in with my angels who have charge over me no matter where I am, day and night. You're blessed in the city. You're blessed in the field.
You better go ahead, girl. You better go ahead.
That's how I feel safe. But this is a great card because it goes into our episode today. We're talking about safety.
Oh my God.
And what makes you feel what makes you feel safe, and where do you feel safe? And we're just gonna dive into safety. Good old safety.
That's a good topic.
My God.
What y'all feel just when y'all hear the word safety? What comes to mind?
Seatbelt.
Okay.
Child
protection.
Yeah. Like how a child
Being
is with a mother.
covered.
Yeah.
You know what I feel when I hear safety? I feel like a cloud. Like everything kind of drops. Like you kind of like you literally become as limp as a noodle because nothing is like holding you.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I feel safe, that's what happens. It's like everything kind of leave my body that could have been stressful. Almost.
So you're like weightless when you say
weightless. That's the best word. Yep.
Yeah.
So weightless equals safety to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, like you said, floating though. Less weightless. You're not
correct. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. First question of the day. Why isn't emotional safety as serious as physical safety? And why isn't it talked about as much? Like, because people always, want to protect us. Y'all need to take a grosh McGrosh class. What's what it said here? McGross.
How long you take that?
Yo, what's it called for real? What's
Krav Maga.
Yeah, there it is. So, they, a lot of people want to protect us physically from a lot of danger, and
I have a great reason.
Okay, let's go.
I feel like we as a people, minorities, especially as African American folk, I think we've never really been able to fully appreciate and embrace emotional safety because we've never really had it. Like, we're always on guard. Mm-hmm. So the thing that we can do, I think we feel like we can reach for something or prepare ourselves in some way for physical safety. But when it comes to emotional safety, it's just like you always feel like you're on guard because even in a space, let's say the workforce, you may have tenure in such space, but somebody could say the wrong thing and that would throw your emotions all over the place. And then you have to try to code switch to express yourself. You have to, you know, so I don't think that we've ever really had that fully to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. It hasn't been taught because we didn't know. Even in past generations, they were taught to be physically safe. If this happens, make sure this, you know, these are the steps. But they weren't able to tap into the emotional state of safety because they were still trying to figure out how to get physical safety under their wraps. So I think now, as time is progressing, we're starting to find, I guess this is like the generation to find the balance in it to where we don't always have to be on guard. That's why you put your place in situations or with people that you know that you can have that safety, or it is recognized that I want you to have this safety so that you can tap into your emotional. And it's always kind of like been demonized how even women kind of portray anger, like you're too much, or I can't this. Well, that's just what the feminine energy is. We're passionate. We're not mad. We're just passionate about what it is. And I think it's gotten kind of confused with people because then they think we're lashing out. Like, no, I need to feel safe so that I can react the way I really want to react. Like, I am pissed. I don't want to throw over tables on, but they can't handle the anger of a Black woman because we haven't been safe enough to even express it. So I think now we're learning that it is important. And it's honestly, the more we can kind of like tap into our emotional state, really is no reason of being so physically right. Because it's like always this, always that. I have to defend myself. I have to do this instead of saying, well, I have the safety in expressing the way I want to. Now I can actually put my guard down with you. So I think now this is the generation that we're saying we want to balance that. Yeah. Okay.
That was good.
That was juicy,
no, for
boy.
real.
That was juicy, boy.
Juicy, my boy.
Yeah, something
like them yams.
No, I mean, y'all pretty much said it all. I think it's a when and where type thing. I think the emotional part, it comes within your, like your circle, your intimate circle, your friends, your family, the emotional safety part. But then the physical safety part is for the rest of the world. Because even now, like with so many different things going on as far as this sex trafficking and right. kidnapping and just having to know that when you go to the gas station, you can't just get out of the car and pump gas. You got to look around. Right. And so that physical part is like, okay, what am I going to do if something pop off, you know? Right. But then the emotional part is like, but I can't live in fear either. Right. You know? So like you said, it's just a balance, but I feel like personally the physical part is for the rest of the world, like outside of your bubble or your circle.
Or intimate circle, because some family members might need.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know who's you know who's in that.
Or you're learning.
Yeah, I mean, because everybody that's family levels. Just ain't welcome into your space. But you know, I get it.
So
Better cry.
No. When have y'all ever been in any relationships where y'all didn't feel safe?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Don't have me balking. Yes.
Oh. Wait, let's talk about one. Let's talk about one relationship that you can remember where you didn't feel safe.
Pop it out, Not.
No.
Welcome to the couch, bro. Welcome to the couch. When was the last relationship where you didn't feel safe? Tell us the time where you didn't feel safe.
I was dating this guy. He was an older guy, but it was just like I never felt safe because he was never aware of like anything around him, surroundings, people, situations, even himself. I mean, duh, Chris. I guess it makes sense now because he wasn't even aware.
Retrospect.
My Lord.
He wasn't even aware of himself. But here we are, redeemed. Alive. Yeah, he would
still alive.
He would put us in situations to where I would have to show up physically to protect the both of us, and it wouldn't even allow me to like be safe with you emotionally, because nigga, you ain't even went past the first level first. How can I get deeper? At what point of time are you making it set up for me that I can dive deeper in you when you haven't even dived deep in yourself? Makes sense. So
look at you talking it through. You better talk it through on the couch.
Buddy mouse.
Talk it through.
Oh, goddamn light bulb.
That's crazy. Okay, not. When did you not feel safe, and what was making you not feel so safe?
Come on. I don't think I ever felt safe in any intimate relationship I've ever been in. I don't think I ever felt safe. I feel safe now. But prior, no, I never felt safe. I feel the physical safety now. We're getting to the emotional safety part. But yeah, I felt safe with no man other than my dad.
Wow.
But tell us why, or you just give us one relationship where you
I just felt like
what that.
I just felt like they weren't. I guess taught to lead or taught to create a safe space for myself or any other woman to fully exist in. And I think my energy was so strong and came off to them as I'll need you. So they didn't really put forth the effort to make sure I felt safe. So in them not putting the effort, it was just like, well, dang. Well, who gonna keep me safe?
Right.
So then it was like emotionally, I was keeping us safe. Physically, I don't know that now. Physical, yes, that it's that, and we're getting to the emotional part. But it definitely was a thing to deal with. Like when I finally realized, like, dang, I don't even feel safe with you. If I in the house or outside the house, I don't feel safe with you. But now it's cool. I know. I got me a head bust. My.
Here you go.
I'm just saying. No.
Okay. I've been in quite a few relationships where I didn't feel emotionally safe. I've always been physically safe. But that emotional safety is something else. And in one of my relationships, it got really, really bad to where he was manipulating me to believe I was a bad person because I was always doing something that he didn't like. And I just always remember trying to prove myself. Like, I am nice. I am a good woman. Then I would overcook. I would overclean. I would overlove, and I would overgive on the emotional end where they didn't even see none of that because it wasn't a financial gain to them. Anyway, it didn't help their finances at all, the stuff that I brought to the table. So, I don't think I've ever felt emotionally like held together. I've always had to do that for myself and whoever I was with. If they were sad and they didn't know why they were sad, I would be the one to work it out and put the puzzle pieces together, not vice versa. Where I could be sad and raging and they would just let me figure it out and self-soothe myself, where they would never have to self-soothe. I would be the one soothing. And I think that's the emotional support I admire and look for, where your partner just know she's not cool. Let me hold her up this way. And that type of emotional support is a privilege. In that emotional safety, like where you know if I yell and scream, he's going to look at me and say, my baby's hurt. Not, what did I do? Right. It's okay. Because you know deep down inside you didn't do nothing. But that comes to self-awareness and self-confidence too. So I think emotional safety is so big. And it'll make or break a relationship, on God. Because you can have all the things in the world.
You got that, my boy.
But if you don't know when your person depressed, or you don't know when your person is not having the best day because your schedule's so busy, it's a little weird. So I think all of us should just bring that into our existence, emotional safety, to be and know how it feels, because I didn't have it for so long. When safety shows up, you got to learn how to exist in it too. Like you gotta relearn what's normal, because I was around men who were emotionally unavailable. I'm used to walking around as if somebody's emotionally unavailable. So I have to learn how to love somebody who really is available now, because I'm like, oh, you want a hug. We can kiss. Oh, dang! I'm sorry.
Oh,
you know, it's real different to learn how to relax in the safety once it's there, because I be hard up, like I told y'all in episodes before. I've had to learn to, you know, cook the food and not hear a thank you, or do something and not hear, or not even get a tap on it. It's like, you did that, you know. It's
acknowledgement.
Yeah. So
I think also at the same time, if you're not aware, or if you want that emotional safety between you and your partner and you don't know how to get there, but y'all are open to learning, because you can have everything, and if you don't want to open up that emotional door, then I say keep moving. But if they are willing, and if they are saying, I don't know how to do this for you, show me how, then show your partner how. But that also comes with what you need for yourself. So if you're saying to yourself, like, listen, when I get mad, I do this, I really don't mean it, and they're listening to you, but you have to be aware of, okay, so what do I do when I feel this way, or how do I handle myself? And if I'm not in the best care, if I'm not in the best mindset, this is how you can help me. And make, like you said, make that same room for your partner as well. Y'all come together like every night, have a check-in if you need to be like that. Then it could progress to every week. That could be that date night check-in. So how's your mindset? Church check-in. Where your mind at? What you feel like? Why you feel like this? What can I do to make it better? So it's always a communication type thing. And I know a lot of people say communication is the key, and I don't really agree with that. I believe communication is the door, because you can communicate all damn long.
I feel like it's the rug that opens it.
But comprehension, though, I comprehend you. I understand you.
We're turning it off.
Yeah, we're getting there. We got the key now. Now let's walk through that. So yeah, walk through that door, you know, with each other. Have grace though, because y'all learning.
Grace for you and them.
Yeah.
Grace for you and them. Okay. Go ahead.
You don't want to know? I could not keep it.
What you mean?
She an answer.
You didn't know.
Go ahead.
So there was one. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite color.
Man.
There was one relationship that it actually, since it started from a friendship, I felt physically safe at first. I felt, I would say, somewhat emotionally safe. However, I hate to use the word, but their demons started like to really show, and they turned into another person as their addiction grew. Mm-hmm. They were alcoholic, and yeah, it got real bad.
Was too, girl.
It got real bad, like so much so that in their rage, you know, like I remember one time I was driving down the streets. They were in the passenger seat, and he reached over and yanked the steering wheel as I was driving. We're literally moving. And I'm like, yeah, you've lost it. There were times that I remember waking up and he was standing over me. So then I started to sleep with a knife under the pillow. And then I was just like, okay, girl, so one day you might have to like legit fight. And I'm not saying he ever raised his hand at me, but when you start doing things like that, you got to kind of be prepared for whatever. And there was one particular time that, you know, there was a swing that was, he threw a punch, he swing that was swung. But I was ready I'm talking about ready to, like, I was going to walk the whole dog on his whole ass, okay? Thankfully, unfortunately, but we were at his mother's house and she had to hold me back because, yeah, I was ready.
So wait, she held you back?
Yeah, she held me back because
she didn't hold him?
Because I think she saw he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't going to make it.
So
she was holding the one that was, the one that was really gonna, because I was ready. It was like I was really, really ready. And I think because I have a great compartmentalization built in, people never knew on the outside because I didn't speak about the things that happened behind closed doors, regardless of those doors. Because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna come between me and my money. Nobody's gonna become, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that our lives were intertwined so much at the time. So that meant work. That meant, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where, hey, there were times where we were on the same show together. So it's like, hey, bro, I mean, I don't care how much we just had this fight. When we get out this car, we finna make.
So y'all Argentina done.
Y'all Argentina.
Well, no, because we didn't. Yeah, we were Argentina, but not so much here. Yeah,
y'all going to San Antonio
at the beginning level.
We went to San Antonio.
Y'all going to San Antonio.
Argentina, but see, like the emotional, like I never did. I didn't get the nut, but I didn't cry in the public.
He better not have nut.
I didn't get the nut bushed, and I didn't get the cry in the public. We never got that far. Amen.
You better
because,
not did the nut.
When we get out
the switch was flipped, and I was like, listen, it's best for you to gather the things that belong to you.
That's crazy.
And exit.
Jesus.
But yeah, it definitely. So, and from that situation on, I've never put myself in the position of allowing myself to be that. I feel like I was too vulnerable. And I'm not saying it as I was vulnerable in spaces that I shouldn't have been. So then I had
and it wasn't earned.
Yeah, it wasn't earned. Yeah, I came real open. No, look, Flower, you gotta come on back.
Come on, bro. You
got to gather yourselves. Yes, but honey, listen. We're here. Hallelujah.
Okay.
We've learned. That was a time.
My.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next question is, how will a man know if his woman doesn't feel safe? What are some key signs?
Ask her.
Not what should he do. What signs do y'all give off? Because there's some men who have asked, and you know how we are. I'm good. No, you seem like you got a little too today. It is. I mean, it is what it is.
If she can't,
see,
her temperament is volatile. I feel like if her temperament is volatile, because
to the man,
yeah. So
to the man who, because when you said her temperament is volatile, that's
you need
to
more
a man,
than that.
That's to a man who might see it. To the man who just don't.
So if she literally goes from, when I say 0 to 100, I'm saying about the smallest thing. I'm not speaking, hey guys, listen to me, the very, very smallest thing. I'm not talking about something that y'all both had a disagreement on. I'm saying something as small as one knife being in the sink.
Something wrong.
And it ain't even, it's not that deep. It's not about the knife. It's not about the knife. And she may not have found the words to say, I am hurting because of this. That is, hey, for real, what's wrong? That is the time to say, it's not about let me hold you.
Yeah.
Even if she doing like the baby that don't want to be touched,
like
and
don't
arching
touch
her
me.
back. No, for real. Something is wrong and it is not about the knife. Check in that moment because it is not about the small thing. And she doesn't have the words to say, this hurt me so bad that my bounce back ain't bounce back.
And sometimes she's probably already told you what she's mad about 30 times. And it
At
happened
this point,
again.
my boy.
And she probably feel like if she say it again, it's
I'm
over.
done.
So
Don't let
I
her
can
be
say
done. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
When that small thing become the thing.
Yeah.
I think
because if we said
talking,
yeah,
all together.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
That's
dangerous.
When I go silent, boy, I don't have no argue for you.
No
I don't
energy.
I don't have nothing because the safety net is gone. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Mm.
That, or in my conversations that I would normally have with you, I call my brother or I call my dad and have them conversations. Cause
Why we do that? Why we go to the men that we know the
Because you feel safe there.
and because you know that they're,
It's familiar.
especially a man. Your daddy's a man.
And
Yeah.
there's a way.
Daddy, you safe enough to break.
I'm safe enough to break, but I'm safe enough to accept whatever he's gonna tell me.
Yeah.
Too, because it's not oh baby, it's all right.
Right.
He gonna say, hey, this is how you handle it. You should do this, and are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
First, he gonna say, are you okay first, and then.
Right.
Okay, and then he gonna talk. But he hears me when I'm talking.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what puts that boundary there, or that block when you are looking for safety in your intimate relationship. It blocks it because you feel like you just cannot be your vulnerable self or say what your truths really are or express your feelings without it being an issue.
Right.
So now I don't want to talk to you. Let me talk to my dad or my brother, or and that's tough because it's demeaning to the man. But it's like,
I gotta get it out.
I have to get it out, or you gonna we gonna have to get it out too. But that's a tough space to be in. I'm only just preaching to myself because I'm learning to talk when there's something wrong.
And sometimes you don't have it in you though. If you repeated yourself a couple times,
yeah, you don't have.
You really don't have.
Yeah,
it,
there's no
because there's
insecurity
no
at that point.
other way to say what you've already said
100 times.
So I think a lot of times when you call, depending on the figure of the person in your life, if you call that father figure, you're looking for the safety and also the guidance and reassurance that, take a breath.
Right.
Now, you was wrong, or you know what I'm saying? Whatever the thing is, but it's a way of them hearing you and you feeling seen as they redirect you, maybe running down 3 miles out the way.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree with both. Because it's two extremes. I'm either going to say everything or say nothing.
Yeah.
Because
and that's a part of emotional safety. So what happens when you say everything, right? And that everything always gets you in the worst situation.
The worst. But then I'm like, does my
moment?
truth always get me the worst? Why?
Well, I think that's when you're not emotionally safe.
Yeah, because that bottle up is going to explode. When there's an explosion, there was no safety in the beginning. Because it done turned into this explosion.
Right.
When it was just a little flicker like that. Now it's the whole building. Right.
It's a flicker.
No, baby, you are
building.
a 4th of July.
Correct.
The whole
building is in
fireworks show, baby. It is not a
everything.
flicker.
Because you ain't hear me when I was there.
When I was right.
Now, you got to call the fire truck because it's going down.
And then once you've lost the desire to even express how you feel,
it's horrible. It's a horrible place to be.
You can't reel me back. We can resolve there.
You can't get me there no more.
But yeah, but our return may not be the same way that we can't come back.
I slick disagree because if you want to go back to that, because I'm personally learning to go back to that.
There you go.
Without the explosion, because it's like you didn't hear me, and then boom, now y'all have a conversation 2 months down the line. He's like, "Oh, I heard you," but I'm like, "Well, why? If you heard me, then why was you going against what you knew I was saying, and you knew that I was saying what I was saying was right?" So now I'm in this big old fire. And me, I have to come back down to that for me. Because the fire, the huge explosion, is just not a safe space. And it's not a healthy space to even be in for me or the other person. Or anybody else that's involved. So you kind of just learn how to stay at that.
Right. And that's what I was about to say. Like,
you have
people that can keep you at that level
all the
of
time.
that. Because even if I do blow up, you can still handle it. But I'm always gonna be this flicker
handle me like that.
I think y'all have segued mother into where we were going next.
Yes,
because
mother.
she got excited.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, What are ways to build emotional safety? So while you sitting at the sink and you washing them dishes and he is oblivious to the pain that you feel inside and you don't feel safe enough to bring it up because of past situations. What are ways that your partner can help open or soften the rage that's going on? What can he do? Go ahead. No.
Do the little app, what I was telling y'all about the notepad. iPhone has a notepad. You can share it with somebody. It's a notepad for me and Bae.
Hey, Bae.
Where I might jot down my feelings in this notepad. I don't ever have to say anything because when he open it up, it's boom, there it is. And then I think reading it sometimes, I know for me, writing out my emotions comes off better for me and comes off softer to the other person than me saying it a lot of times. So I have to, but I also think that writing is a cop-out.
Oh,
sometimes.
You know, because I'm definitely gonna say on my turn what I think writing. But go ahead.
I think writing sometimes is a cop out to where you don't have to have that interaction with that person. Can't give you live feedback.
Ooh, boy.
So you write it, but I mean, just in a healthy space, even when you're not feuding or you're not fighting. Still, I think the shared notepad is helpful because you can say the things that you want, even when it's good things. Good things, or things that may be bothering you, put it in there and they can see it, that that you've said it, or and vice versa. They can put the things in there that they might be feeling or want to say to you and just don't really know how to come into the words, but it's easier for them to write. So I think that's a way. Another way, I think that at the end of the day, y'all both should digress together. But how's your day? Was there anything that happened during the day that might have threw you off, or was I present enough for you today? Or, vice versa. I think just being really aware and making a conscious choice to be aware of your person's feelings and your person's thoughts, and just always, because it's just rough out here, always knowing that just because they walked in the house with a smile don't mean they had a good day. So just making a conscious effort to be like, are you good? Are you sure? And if you're not, then we can talk about it. I don't want to carry that for you, but we can talk. We can talk through that.
Is this a difference?
Yeah.
I'll walk you through it.
I think in that you had a little setup as you were asking the question. You're in the kitchen washing dishes. I could see in those moments, whether it's whatever party, if he washing dishes, I feel like finding the time or using that moment to do an embrace, whether it's from the back or whatever. I feel like expressing yourself through an embrace or over a meal are always I don't know. It's like you don't really have time to have your guard up in those moments. So I feel like, I'm not saying, now, of course, if you in the burning hot flame, of course you can't. Now, I'm not saying in the breast.
Dinner is about
a 4. Yeah. So I'm saying that.
Dinner is we at 4.
Yeah, but I'm saying in a non place of
dinner is sexy.
If you are in a space when you are eating, especially if the food is good.
Oh, it's gonna be.
Because I'm not gonna eat no trash. But I'm just saying, if in that meal or in that embrace, in that moment, hey, you good, and I'm cool now. Okay, no, for real. Are you good in a
like you said with the dinner, because especially in a restaurant. You can't act the donkey.
We can't do it in a restaurant.
You can't act the donkey, so you almost gotta be sweet. You almost have to listen. You have to listen because, first of all, I'm right here in your face. Yeah. You have to look at me, really. Yeah. Especially at dinner. I don't like the phones. Don't pull your phone out.
Let's let it be us.
So we have to interact. Yeah. And because we know we can act a donkey in here, we have to talk. I feel I know that for dinner for me forces me to talk. Because just because I don't want to be sitting at a restaurant and we both like this.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to be at a restaurant and we heated because at this point I can't really.
But I'm not
enjoy
gonna
it.
I'm not gonna commit to going to dinner if I'm heated.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
I will commit to going to dinner if we need clarity and we need to just talk.
Let's
through
talk
some
about
things.
something.
Let's talk about. Now if I'm heated, we ain't going to dinner.
You can be.
I feel like in the heat of the moment,
You can get this hot dog.
in the heat of the moment, you're asking like,
Not the processed beef.
This French fries.
you're asking like how they can approach it in the heat of the
Or
moment.
ways to build.
Ways
Yeah,
to
so
build.
build.
Ways to build emotional safety.
Yeah.
Ask your partner, is this about me? If you're seeing a reaction that is further out from when the knife in the sink, and it's almost like your ego is saying, wait a minute, how dare she?
I
Check
wouldn't
it.
do that. I wouldn't go there.
How come?
Yeah, is this
Is
about
it about me? It's
Because
it's more of
especially if like men don't know.
I don't say is it about me, because to me that turns me off.
I'm not gonna say is this about me?
Yeah,
like you know, but
I'm just saying for me it does, because when
Okay.
you, like even here you say it is like a trigger. No, it's not about you. Like and I think that being the first thing come out his mouth is gonna trigger me. Now, have I hurt you in some way?
Alright.
So okay, the
Have I
wording.
hurt you? Yeah.
It's the
It's the word.
Have I hurt you in some way? Like she said, am I present enough?
Yeah.
Is it about me? What I do? Did I do something?
Because now you're really making the situation about you. Yeah.
And this ain't about you. This about my
So it's the
feelings. This
word.
about my emotions. This about me needing to be carried. This ain't about you. It's about me. And that be the thing. Y'all can tell I've been emotionally not safe. You know, like, because then it turns into them. Then it turns into your pain becoming their coddle or their nurture.
Right.
And they forgot all about the fact that you were sitting at the sink about to throw a knife at them. So I think more so just don't ask. Think of something.
Just forgive
else,
off bad, baby. Forgive me.
No.
Or just really.
I'm sorry, baby.
Come here,
You
girl.
see,
Come here,
y'all,
baby.
and Chrissy's a whole nigga out here.
Look, what I do, man. Let's speak.
What I do, man? What I do,
What's up,
baby?
my boy? What's up? Talk to me, baby.
What happened?
So here's another way I think, just coming from the seat of not being emotionally supported, I think the best way that I drop my guard, it ain't writing. I like to talk that mug out for hours if it needs to be. I'm a talker. I like to talk in the moment. I like to get raw and real reactions. I don't like processed reactions. I don't like processed emotions. I just don't. Now, do I give space and time for the people to do that? I do now.
Oh, because you're learning.
I do now, but even in that, it's like my emotion at the next stage ain't really my real thing. Because I be done calm down. And that ain't really what I'm trying to give you. What I'm trying to give you is my real hurt. Like, this is how I feel. Not this is how I feel when I've self-soothed myself because we've had time to think about it.
But I think also it's fair. It's fair. It might not be ideal, but it's fair to give a person that space if they simply cannot communicate with you in that emotional space.
I agree.
Because it's like,
but I can't.
I get it because I'm the same. I'm the same way because I want to address it right then and there.
I'll do it for you, but I ain't doing. Know that when I give you your space, know that when you walk away from me, inside of me, I'm waiting.
Yeah, I
am. Are you still thinking about it?
The rock is still cooking, baby. No,
like,
I get it.
Where are we? Can we start now?
I get it, but it's just like it's unfair though. For us to set up that expectation that person has to just unload right now because we're ready to talk about it. It has to be a mutual agreement, even though that's not typically what happens. One person gonna press the issue to where y'all gotta talk or fight or whatever. But I think it's healthy for both people to be like, all right, look, babe. Yeah, you ain't on my good side. I know I ain't on your good side, but we gotta figure this thing out. But it can't be on the brink of emotion for neither party.
I feel that, and I guess this is where we all gonna have to agree to disagree because I want real emotion.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
and
the
I would
same
rather.
way.
I would rather.
I feel like you built to that though.
We can build
It
to
can
that,
build to-
but I know for me, my emotional safety part, that's where I feel emotionally safe. When I cannot have to process my feelings. You can say, nah, give me that. Whatever you about to say, give me that. And they not buckle. Or they not,
Crumble.
Or be like, they'll listen to you, because I'm used to this too. They'll listen to you and they'll go, give me 2 seconds. I gotta take this call.
But
at that point it's done.
But the thing is that
I gotta
because we're women, we're already emotional. We can't expect the man to be like that all the time, because
I ain't expecting it. But godly, give me 1, 2, 3 days out the month where you could just dial into.
You got to
I get it. So that's why it's important to set aside that designated time, babe. This is our time to unload, unpack,
that's what I said,
and address whatever issues are going on. Because as much time as we might sit and think about something and let it fester, and now it turned into a movie when it was just a stage play.
Mama, I want to say it real good.
Yeah, we have to know that because we're emotional already, we're emotional creatures already.
Correct.
We can't expect him to be just as emotional as we are, because that's just not their makeup. Now, do I expect you to communicate effectively with me? Absolutely.
Because that's what I feel like builds your stamina for those type of interactions, is to stick through them, because they're not as bad as people make them seem. And I know people have different trauma and they don't like when people maybe raise their voice when they're passionate. But I took a therapy session, and the only thing that I broke down on was, she said she's not scary, she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
She's not scary, she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on me, she was like, she just don't feel safe. That's why she acting like that. She don't feel safe. And you sitting here thinking it's something so big. No, she just don't feel safe with you.
And that's simple.
And that mother looked at me and said, Joy, you're safe. And I just...
because that fight, because in you, it's like, I've been trying to get you to understand. Like, I just need you to embrace me. I need you to hug me. I need you to talk to me. I need you to be attentive to my feelings, the things that matter to me. I need them to matter to you. And when they don't, I want to talk to you.
Correct.
It's like, I don't want to talk to you, but then when I've done let all of this build up, now I want to explode, and I want you to be here when I explode, so you can see exactly how you've affected me. But the thing about it is that's not a good place to be in. Because they walking into a room with you already with the gun pointed at them, ready to shoot. You already got a full clip in your hand. You ready to just let off.
But it started off empty.
It started off empty.
And
yeah, but at the same time, just like Nadia said, women are emotional, period. So if you come into a guy and he don't know nothing, he's caught off guard. Like, what you talking about? What happened, babe? They don't understand that shit. So
I'm gonna say, because we gotta wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
We gotta wrap this up. What we're gonna say ways to build emotional safety, guys, just in case y'all missed them. Number 1, inquire instead of accusing.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for clarity. Okay? Inquire instead of accusing. Ask for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, avoid you never and you always.
Ooh.
Avoid them.
I feel shocked.
Don't
those
avoid.
absolutions.
Stop saying you never do this and you always don't. We're gonna take that out when we're trying to build emotional safety with our partners.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say them words.
Coming now.
Just delete them out of our vocabulary. Number 3, listen to understand, not to convince.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did y'all hear that? Listen to understand, not to convince. Meaning, don't convince them that your pain is bigger than their pain. That ain't what this is about. Okay? Give compliments and positive feedback. Encourage your partner. That 9 times out of 10 will soften the wall that's up too. If you walk in and you see her throwing a knife, be like, now, beautiful, you ain't got to throw that knife.
Now put that down.
You threw that so pretty. Come here, man.
You know, like, come here, give me a hug. And then she'll be like, man, get up off of me. Be like, I'm sorry.
Going harder.
you know, just go in there guns blazing with affection, guns blazing with positivity, and she might give you an inch. Okay? And practice grace and compassion with your partner and yourself.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. Now that was good.
That was real good.
Shake my hand.
Those are
was
some
good.
ways to build
That
emotional
was really,
safety
really
with your
good.
partner if y'all not sure.
That was good.
And go to my website. I'm going to write a blog about it
You
on
saw-
ways
Yes.
to practice emotional safety. So your woman can not only open up emotionally, but she can open up in some other ways. But that's going to be the next episode.
Oh my
With that blow the bloom.
Because she
Put that
gotta
flower
feel
Oh,
in.
wait,
what?
y'all.
Gotta feel safe enough
To
be soft enough
to penetrate.
Yay. But before you go, there's
Uh-huh.
one thing we want you to know, that there's always room for you on
On the couch. Hi guys.